How's it going, guys, and welcome back to Finding Charizard. And today, guys, we're going to be doing a video about PSA grading your Pokemon cards and a few other aspects that you should definitely consider before you start sending your cards to PSA, or if you're buying them on eBay or from other people, however you source your cards. There are definitely a few things that you should consider before you start spending your money on buying PSA cards. And the reason why I wanted to do this video, because there are a lot more people who have come into Pokemon and who are new to investing and collecting, and it's just a video to make everyone more aware of these important details that PSA look for when they go about grading their cards. So the first area I wanted to look at with you guys was its centering of Pokemon cards, and I've got this Charizard Reshiram GX card, which is a really nice card. This is a promo card, but as you can see, the centering on this card is not the best. You can see on the left hand side here, it is a lot thicker than what it is on the right, and down below it's very thin compared to the top of the card. So the border of the card, of the front of the card, is one area that PSA would look at, and this is what you could get deducted on for points and your grade. And so the front centering and the back centering, this is a great example of not very well centered card at all. As you can see, along the blue border of the card, the left hand side is very thin compared to that right side there as well. So yeah, that's one area you should definitely look to consider, that all these borders on the front and back of the card are all even. And the next area I wanted to look at and talk to you guys about is with this Chansey card. This Chansey card I've had in my collection since I was a wee boy, so it's done well considering how old it is. But the issue with this card, it does have scratches. You can see scratches, and you can actually see a wee indent on here as well. So especially in holographic cards, well, in all types of holographic cards, full arts, what have you, they will look for scratches, especially if people are collecting vintage cards and looking to get them sent off for PSA. And if you had them in your collection, really examine your card under a good light like this to see if there are any big scratches on the card. And I don't know if you guys can see, I'm trying to get into camera, but the other defect you should look out for, especially with vintage cards, are print lines. There is a print line, the camera's not quite picking it up, just down here. I think there's one there. I can't quite get it into frame, but for print lines as well. A lot of print lines can come down the way or come across the card as well, and you see that in a lot of cards. So scratches and print lines, do be careful of, and really examine your cards. I often use a magnifying glass, especially with my vintage cards, if they look really clean, because I'm very particular looking out for scratches and imperfections like that. But yes, print lines and scratches for the Chansey. And the next card, I've got this Dark Magneton from the Rocket set, and this card has this again has been in my collection since I was a boy, so you guys will probably pick up more imperfections with some of these cards than what I'm talking about. But I'm just going over these cards because these are areas that are different that I haven't spoken about. So with this card, I'm looking for black spots and white spots. This also has a few edge wear issues as well, but I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a white spot there, which is this is found in a lot of vintage cards if you've had them in your collection for a long time, and you've got black spots there. A lot of black spots come from like dirt and dust and things like that if they haven't been sleeved. So black spots and white spots are really important. Although it's only one very slight white spot there and a very slight black spot, you will still get marked down from PSA for any imperfections like that. If this was a perfect card and you had that spot, it would still be a PSA 9. It wouldn't be a 10 because of that white spot once again. And Edges are really important with this card as well. PSA will look for edges to be completely blue around the border, or if you have Japanese cards, it's like the gold yellow color would have to be all perfect. But as you can see up there, there's a spot of white, and there is a few around this card. So this would have to be all solid in one color for around the edges of the card as well. I'm trying to see if there's some more that I can show you. Yeah, on that top right corner, you can see it here as well. So yeah, this would have to be all solid blue as well. So that is a good example of poor edge wear in a card. And definitely be really thorough and take your time before you send cards to PSA to get graded, because all these things could really mark you down in your grades that you could possibly get. So the next card, you can quite obviously see the issue with this card, and this is a color printing issue. Do not know why that is there at all, but that is a big color printing issue. And sometimes you see it in kind of anywhere in the card that you can see printing issues as well. Sometimes I've noticed you can get it just after the name of the Pokemon, and there could be a little imperfection there as well to the right side of that. So be very careful before you send your cards. Really examine the color and the print of the card as well, because you can get other coloring issues if a card's been in your collection for a long period of time, especially these like old vintage cards. If they haven't been stored away properly, sometimes around the border can be faded. This is quite good. This is quite good for colouring, but I don't have a card that had really seriously bad colouring around it. But yes, that is another part of colouring that you should be very careful of before you either buying cards or sending off to PSA as well. So that is about colour and printing issues you should be wary of. And this Dark Arbok has seen better days. Love the set, the Dark Arbok from Team Rocket, really nice card. And some of you guys are probably thinking, well, yeah, there's a long crease along the bottom here. Obviously that would mark you down quite severely, but for having creases on the card as well. And not only that, along the card, is it at the back of the card? Yeah, along the back of the card, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a few dents along the card as well, and there is also a few scuffs along here. There's a few scuffs along here around the border as well of this card as well. So for creases, dents and scuffs like that, be very careful of your vintage cards or any card. It's not just this, just be careful when you're storing your Pokemon cards. Get them sleeved. I've got all of my cards that are sleeved that have a bit of value to them, because obviously, you know, prices of these cards are jumping up in price, and especially when you're investing and you're new to Pokemon, you don't know quite what you're looking at, and you're not sure what's going to give you a PSA 10 if you're after a 10. Hopefully this video is going to help you guys. So another area I wanted to cover with you guys was about sometimes if you have a card and it's been sitting in a tin, and if it's a lot of time, if it's like a holographic card, it can be like a reverse card like this, like it happens to full arts and stuff, it can form a natural bend if it's not stored properly. So let me take it out of this sleeve here so you guys can see very clearly what I mean. So really nice card, this from the Skyridge set, but as you can see, it does have a bend to the card. So that is also something that would get marked down on from PSA if there is bends in the card. But it's very common in like older cards like this, if you've had in your collection and they've been rattling about in a tin like this one has, which is bad of me because I should keep it in a better condition than that. But yeah, that can happen to like full art cards, holo cards and stuff as well. But just another area to be very mindful when you're looking at your cards before you get them sent off to PSA as well. And I just wanted to go back to the Dark Arbok card here, because with this card it also has silvering. So silvering is found on the very edge of the card. It can be all around the border, or it can be very light. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm really going to try and do my best. You can just kind of see the flecks appearing on the side of the card there. You might have seen it before when I was looking at this card, but yes, silvering is also another area to be mindful of. You can kind of see it better there. Those silver little flecks there, these are the bits that I'm talking about, to be very mindful of, and especially if you're buying off eBay as well. Always ask the seller to send pictures of the side of the card as well, the best you can, so you know that you're getting a pretty good condition card that doesn't have that silvering effect on it as well, because again you're going to get marked down for that as well. So there are actually quite a lot of aspects of to this that you have to be mindful of, but yeah, hopefully this has helped with these few cards here, and I'll show you the Hidden Fates one we've got there as well. To end it off, I've got a PSA 10 Gem Mint Umbreon GX here, and it's from Hidden Fates, and this is from the first print run, and it is one I've actually thinking of sending to Beckett's at one point, because the centering is absolutely bang on. It's pretty perfect throughout the front of the card, and obviously there's no imperfections on the hollow print. It's a really top condition card, and I bought this card when Hidden Fates first came out for £25, and now this card resells for over £300. So it's an investment that I made, a little investment, because I just understood at the time, did my homework about Hidden Fates, and obviously it's EV Evolution as well. It's a very popular card as well. And let's have a quick look at the back, and as you can see on the back of this card, the centering is really top condition, and yeah, like I said, hopefully I'll get this bad boy sent to Beckett's, because I do think it could get a higher grade than what PSA can offer. But yes guys, that is everything I've got for you today, guys. If I have missed some key aspects that you think that should be included, please leave a comment. I've got a few more videos coming out pretty soon, subscribe and share the love, guys. It would mean a lot, and I will see you guys again soon.